The Nexus Academy's training grounds fell silent as the massive containment pod descended from the cargo bay. Commander Zeth Ka, a towering Korthon with scales that shimmered like obsidian, watched nervously as his subordinates backed away from the reinforced titanium container. Inside, something moved with the weight of a small starship. "Are you certain about this, Commander?" asked Lieutenant Vex, her crystalline Zephyrian features flickering with concern. "The umbral Warbeast has killed 7 handlers in the past cycle alone. Even our most experienced Korthon warriors couldn't—" "The Academy Council has spoken," Zethka interrupted, though his own voice carried doubt. "If we're to stand against the Void Swarm's next incursion, we need every advantage. The umbral Warbeast is the most powerful bioweapon ever captured from the Outer Rim." Among the assembled cadets, Marcus Chen stood quietly at the back, his human frame dwarfed by the alien students around him. At 19, he was the youngest cadet in his class, and certainly the smallest. The other species, towering Korthons, ethereal Zephyrians, and armored Thractol, had initially dismissed him as another soft-flesh weakling from the Sol system. Even now, whispers passed between them about why humans insisted on sending their young to die in academy training programs. The containment pod split open with a hiss of escaping atmosphere, and the umbral Warbeast emerged. It was nightmare given form, 12 feet of rippling shadow and sinew, with 6 limbs ending in claws that could rend starship hull plating. Bioluminescent veins pulsed along its elongated skull, and its 4 eyes burned like miniature suns. Most unsettling of all were the writhing tendrils that emerged from its spine, each one capable of independent thought and lethal precision. The creature's mental presence hit the assembly like a psychic tsunami. Cadets stumbled backward, clutching their heads as alien thoughts invaded their minds. Visions of cosmic void, endless hunger, and contempt for all lesser beings. Several Zephyrian cadets collapsed entirely, their delicate neural networks overwhelmed. Marcus felt it too, the crushing weight of an intelligence vast and ancient, older than most civilizations. But where others felt only malevolence, he sensed something else buried beneath the surface. Pain. Loneliness. A desperate yearning for connection that had been twisted into rage by centuries of captivity and exploitation. Commander Zeth Ka stepped forward, his military bearing rigid despite the fear in his eyes. "Warbeast, you will submit to Academy protocols and accept—" The creature's head snapped toward him, and one tendril lashed out faster than thought. The commander barely dodged as the appendage carved a smoking furrow in the reinforced ground where he'd stood. The Warbeast's mental voice echoed in every mind present, a sound like breaking glass and dying stars. "Pathetic. You seek to chain me as others have tried. I will not serve." "Sir," Lieutenant Vex called out, raising her energy weapon. "Perhaps we should—" Silence. The creature's 4 eyes swept across the assembled cadets, and Marcus could feel it probing each mind in turn, searching, evaluating. Several students cried out as the mental pressure intensified. Where is the one who understands pain? The one who knows what it means to be underestimated? The Warbeast's gaze fell upon Marcus, and suddenly the world went quiet. Those burning eyes locked onto his, and Marcus felt the full weight of the creature's attention. Unlike the others, he didn't look away or reach for a weapon. Instead, he took a step forward. "Don't," Vex whispered urgently. "Human, it will tear you apart." Marcus ignored her, walking slowly toward the creature. The Warbeast's tendrils writhed, hypnotically, but they didn't strike. Instead, Marcus felt a careful mental touch, not the brutal invasion the others had experienced, but something gentle, almost curious. "You do not fear me," came the creature's voice, but now it spoke only to Marcus. "Why?" "Because I recognize you," Marcus said aloud, causing gasps from the onlookers. "You're not a weapon. You're a prisoner." The Warbeast's massive form shifted, and for a moment Marcus glimpsed something beyond the fearsome exterior. A being of incredible intelligence and emotion, trapped and forced to fight for the entertainment or tactical advantage of others. They called me monster, Made me kill. Used me until my purpose became my prison. I know what that's like, Marcus replied, thinking of every dismissive comment, every assumption about human weakness, every time he'd been counted out before he could prove himself. Being seen as only what others expect you to be. The creature's mental presence softened further. Marcus reached out slowly, his small human hand extended toward the massive alien predator. Several cadets shouted warnings, but the Warbeast didn't move to attack. Instead, one of its smaller tendrils extended to meet Marcus's touch. The moment of contact sent a shockwave through both their minds, but not one of pain or domination. It was understanding, recognition. The Warbeast saw in Marcus not another would-be master, but a kindred spirit who had also been underestimated, dismissed, and forced to prove his worth again and again. You would not use me as a weapon, the creature said, and it wasn't a question. No, Marcus replied firmly, but I could use a friend. The transformation was immediate and startling. The Warbeast's aggressive posture relaxed, its bioluminescent, veins shifting from angry red to a calm blue-white. It lowered its massive head toward Marcus, not in submission, but in acceptance. Commander HFY stared in disbelief. This is impossible. The Warbeast has never shown deference to anyone. How did a human— Because, Marcus said, his hand still resting on the creature's tendril. Sometimes the strongest bond isn't formed through domination or fear. Sometimes it's formed through understanding. The Warbeast's mental voice touched every mind present, but now it carried warmth instead of malice. I choose this one. Not as master, but as partner. Together, we will show the galaxy what the underestimated can accomplish. As the shocked assembly watched, the most feared bioweapon in known space settled beside a 19-year-old human cadet, ready to face whatever challenges the universe might bring, not as monster and handler, but as friends who had found in each other something the galaxy had tried to deny them both: respect, understanding, and the unshakable bond that forms when two outcasts choose to stand together.